guys, my name's Christine Lynch. I did my project on You Are Who You Hang Out With. Common phrase, something my parents grew up telling me. Just another thing I didn't really believe until I was in a situation like myself where I had to evaluate the people I had around me. For this project, I kind of wanted to give a description about how much friends do influence you, so then you can kind of look at your friends that you have and maybe you'll notice some similarities that we're going to go over. So you've got friends for everything, different friend groups. You got friends that eat out together, you got friends that work out together, friends that grab drinks together, grab dinner. We got like friends for everything, and maybe just one group of friends for everything. So do you guys have a friend group that's like, okay, Friday nights, like you're gonna bowling tonight with your friends, or you might have friends that, like I said, dinner, working out with, and then when you think down to specifics about the people you have in your friend group, you might be able to relate some similarities to what I'm about to go over, because you would see how much your friends that you do spend a lot of time with actually influence you in more ways than you might think. So friends, they affect your mental health and your physical health. In Brooke Nelson's 2020 article, friends could determine everything from your health to your emotions, according to a growth body of research. In MindWise 2007 article, how friends affect your physical and mental health, friendships and social support have been linked to better physical health outcomes. So let me kind of go over how they affect your mental and physical health. So first, we're starting with the moods. So your friend group can affect your actual moods, like your feelings. So for instance, if you're hanging out with people that are really happy, they're outgoing, positive, have a great outlook on life, then you're more common to feel the same way. Versus if you're hanging out with people who are really like negative, maybe more like depressed, they're like sad, life's kind of just different for them, then you kind of start to get the same outlook that they do. So it's all about like the people you're spending your time with, and the energy that they give off, you start to give off yourself, even if you don't realize it. Then we have the Michelangelo effect. So it's you start to copy them, you mimic things that they do, you pick up behaviors over time. So the Michelangelo effect is basically if you're hanging out with people a lot, things that they do, they say, different behaviors, you start to do them as well. So that's why the feelings start to become the same. So if you've got friends that tend to do one habit, you're more inclined to do the same. Same with just like physical and mental health. And then also, if you're likely to have an increased lifespan based off of your friends. They have studies done showing increased lifespan due to less health issues stemming from good social communications. So having like good social communications, that's again that positive attitude, like the kind of good outlook on life, hanging out like with good people, stuff like that, happy people, it helps. It's supposed to help like you have less health issues going on further in life. So there is a study done for increased lifespan. And then friends shape you. They shape you in more ways than you would think. They shape your mind, and your mind actually starts to put some, like if you had an option between something you would do or they would do, your mind starts to put what they would do before your own personal choice, just off of, it's just something that the mind does because you've spent so much time with somebody. So you kind of start to go the path that they go on, you just again pick up similar behaviors. And it says you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So again, you're like kind of like the average, it kind of all just goes together. Your friends are people that you have a lot of similarities like, so it's whether it's negative versus positive outlooks, also positive or negative effects. depending on your friend type. And then for my self-story, I can also relate to having friends who they were kind of depressed. They didn't look at life positive, and I became the same way. It made situations that were hard in my life, they became like extra harder for me, because it was hard to even think there was going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. I actually went down a really bad path a few years back and struggled with alcohol and substance abuse, and it was kind of just habits I picked up from the people I was surrounding myself with. So on top of the habits that we had in common, it was also the moods. So it was hard to be happy around other people who weren't happy. So that's kind of how I relate to this part. Now, switching over to how your friends affect having a successful future. In SoFi General's 2017 article, 5 Ways Friends Influence Your Success, friends can also influence your financial achievements, career performance, and opportunities in general life success. And then Martin Dorn 2018 article, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The people we surround ourselves with are the biggest influence on our behavior, attitude, and results. So, how your friends influence your future. So, the first part is motivation. Your friends play a big part in your motivation. If you guys have the same type of motivation, like if there's something you guys want, you want to go out and go for it. That's kind of how your friends influence you. If you're with people that don't have motivation, then you're less likely to have the motivation to strive for new goals or achievements. And then the next part, goals, kind of the same thing. When you have a person that's got a ton of goals and dreams for their life, when they start hanging out with people who don't, then they start to lose focus on what they have planned for their future. And then also vice versa, not everything's always negative. If you and your friends have the same goals, or your friend has maybe bigger goals than you have thought of before, you'll be motivated to maybe create a bigger plan or help think of more things that you hadn't thought of before. Same with goals, so it can go in a positive or negative way for everything. And then you and your friends, you become bonded mentally. So it's like you share the same kind of thought process. So people who are maybe going to school, or you've got a job, or you've got all these plans for your future, you tend to hang out with people who have somewhat kind of the same goals as you, or same plans for the future, versus hanging out with people who don't want a future or don't have the motivation that you do. It's kind of all about the people that you're around, and then once you're around them, you get bonded mentally. So you kind of just become on the same track as them. So it's really important to watch who that you are surrounding yourself with, so you can make sure that you're both getting to the goals that you set for yourselves. And then work performance as well. The studies have been shown that people who work alone, or they don't work with friends, they have more of a poor work ethic than people who work with friends or have a happy work environment. Which would be a common thing, people who love their job, or you're working with your friends, that would be like a fun type of job to have. Whereas if you're by yourself, maybe a job you're not really liking, it can affect your work performance. So friends can also influence that too, and that's in a positive way. And then it says, show me your friends and I will show you your future. And then kind of like for a self-story with that, when I was going down this bad path, I stopped doing school. I stopped having a job. I thought there's other ways to get money that weren't very beneficial for myself. But it was easier and kind of fast money, so it was a different type of lifestyle than what I should have been doing. So, yeah, friends can really kind of just affect how, because I had goals at one time, but they hang out with people that didn't have the same goals as I did. It really just kind of let my goals go away. I kind of just lost focus of my future, and then going back to the moods, like my mood became very depressed. Things just kind of started going downhill, on a downhill spiral. And then what you see in your friends. In William Park's 2019 article, How Your Friends Change Your Habits, Your Actions Depend Just as Much on Your Friends and Family as Ourselves. And Leslie Phelps' 2018 article, 4 Ways Your Friends Shape Your Future. It's noted friendship influences go beyond the moments during the choice making. And in Chaplain Malcolm's 2013 article, Show Me Your Friends and I'll Show You Your Future, it states, don't just let anyone come in and start placing things or speaking things into your life. So what you see in your friends. So this is kind of like the friends that come into your life and the effect that they have on you. And don't let people just come in and just for the moment. Like, you're thinking long term when you think of friend groups that you have and how they're going to affect your whole life, because you really got to think about how they can affect you in so many ways, and you want it to be in everything positive for your life. So there's various dissonance, probably saying that wrong, but that means like when you see someone behave different, you change your behavior to match theirs. So it's common in friend groups. So if your friends act a different way than you do, or they have different habits than you do, then you start to pick up on things that they do. And then bad habits and good habits. There's studies on eating healthy. If your friends, they're more of the type to eat healthy, and maybe you aren't, being around a group of people with everybody eating healthy, you would be more inclined to eat healthy. And then they've also done one for cigarettes. If you have a group of friends that do or don't smoke cigarettes, you might be inclined to stop smoking if none of your friends smoke, or to pick up kind of a smoking habit if you're around everybody that does smoke. So it's like all the actions that you're around, your mind like unconsciously just starts to pick up little habits, like sayings, habits, everything, like, because that's the people you're around the most. You kind of just go with the crowd versus your own choices sometimes. You get persuaded to change kind of your choices. I know there's people that are really firm on the things that they do and they don't do. So it's kind of just like about your friend choice that you have around you. So, you know, maybe you're not really much of like an Italian eater, but your friends want to go to Olive Garden. You know, you're like, okay, so you might go there and you might just go there for one time or whatever and not again. But, you know, like you just go kind of like with the crowd. You go with your friends. Maybe just kind of just smoke a cigarette one time. You see it helps them with stress, so you just decide, okay, you know, I'm really stressed out right now. It might help me too. So just little habits like that kind of get picked up. And then there's just a bunch of people connecting hands. And then for the end of my self story, picking up the habits, that was something that I did do, but it was something that I had to let go. So I did end up going to rehab and getting clean, sober. I ended up working full-time again, having kids, back in school. I reconnected with my family, and I deleted all my social media, made new social media. So this is why it's been a really big topic for me to not hang out with certain people, because I didn't think they had any effect on me. I thought I made my own choices, which I do, but I was very influenced by my friends. So yeah, I do believe this statement 100%, because I've seen it, you know, with myself. So just kind of something to look at, going over like with the people that you hang out with. Maybe it's obviously just all good things, and that's great. Maybe you and your friends are people that influence each other to do better, to be better people. And there's just things to look for, you know, going on in the future, everybody that you have around you. So, thank you.